All right, Elon Musk taking more actions likely to put fear in the hearts of the advertisers, crucial for X, formerly Twitter's survival. Bringing back to the platform Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist who's called the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting a hoax and who was banned from Twitter 5 years ago for what moderators at the time called abusive behavior. The return of Alex Jones coming after he came out on top in a poll. Musk posted his profile. Musk, who says he prioritizes free speech over everything, adding that, quote, "People have spoken, and so it shall be." The news that Jones is back on X probably unwelcome for the advertisers that have fled the platform. Disney, IBM, dozens of others, over concerns their products might appear alongside controversial or offensive content, including posts from Musk himself. Musk had a pretty simple message when asked about the advertising exodus just a couple weeks ago.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
It just gets me every time. Yep. NBC's Jake Ward is here. It gets me every time.
You can't look away.
Andrew Ross Sorkin was, what's even the follow-up? You know, he said it was just so shocking that he's,
the whole room, you can feel the whole room recoil. That's right.
But so here, every day there's a headline from Elon Musk that more reason for advertisers to back away, and his company succeeds by the money from advertisers. So what's the end game, or is he just trolling everyone?
I mean, this is right. The end game, well, certainly things are only headed in one direction, right? I mean, if you cast your mind back to October 2022, when the deal closed, at that time, the company was worth about $44 billion based on the purchase price. It has since sunk to just last month being worth about $19 billion. That's according to some internal stock options being offered to employees. So right there, you're right, the downward trajectory is pretty clear. You know, where is it all headed? I'm not sure. I mean, this is a guy, right, who does not seem to care at all about the 90% of his company's revenue, which is advertising.
Yeah.
And so I guess at this point, we can only assume that he's eventually got to care about the debt that the banks are holding for him. This is the thing I keep coming back to, right? Is we've got $13 billion being held right now by banks that finance the purchase of Twitter. That $13 billion owed to 7 banks, Morgan Stanley, Barclays, right? Those guys have to be feeling some pressure.
Right. How do they feel about him saying
that's right.
to advertisers?
It's one thing when IBM and the rest say it. It's another thing when these banks come under pressure, and especially when they come under pressure by regulators who don't like it when you hold that stuff on the back. So for me, I'm watching the banks at this point, because at this point, it's just impossible to find out where the bottom is.
So when you talk about investors in his other companies, too, there's this thing on Wall Street known as Musk risk. I mean, that his other behavior at Twitter and the things he's saying could be risky for some of his other inventors. Both have covered him separately for a long time. What happened to the nerdy guy who wanted to go to space, build rockets and electric cars, right? Just the smart, quiet, nerdy genius guy has turned into this free speech absolutist picking fights.
Yeah, I mean, right? What is it that has turned him around? Is it money? I mean, the one thing I've spoken to people who've been close to him for a long time and say that the one thing that he seems to have learned from the early days of his time running SpaceX, running Tesla, and getting attention for those through his personal platform is that the more personal attention you can get, the better. So if you look, for instance, at the number of followers he's gotten in that year since he purchased it, right? He at that time had 80 million followers in October of 2022 for, you know, the cost of a little more than $20 billion. Turns out you can double that to 166 million. So he's got this incredible following, and it seems that, you know, he just seems to be convinced that getting attention in any way he possibly can is good, including at this point reinstating Alex Jones on the eve of the anniversary week of the Sandy Hook massacre. Of course, the thing that was the touchstone of Alex Jones's legal trouble and that got him deplatformed off everything anyway. You know, it just seems to be that I think this guy is at a place where just making as much noise as possible has in the past served his other companies, because that personal platform seemed to draw people to him. Now on Twitter, on X, it's not entirely clear that there's any real strategy other than following that one through. But at this point, it just does not look like there's much of a plan here. And so the question is just where the bottom's
Well, he posted a poll saying, should we let him come back? And the people said, who are the people?
I think your political scientist would say this is not. Yeah, this is a highly selective group, right? The people who vote in an Elon Musk posted poll.
And are they always people? I mean,
are they people? Right, we don't know, right? But it is all of this. It seems like is the sort of the intellectual kingdom he has built, and he is just rummaging around inside it right now.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.